Denver 7 On Demand is brought to you by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
I'm Ann Trujillo with the latest from Denver 7. It is one of the most important investigations Contact 7 has ever launched. And tonight, the state is taking notice and action. 7 months of reporting comes down to this. Claims of widespread fraud, poor care, and worse have led the state to move to revoke a mental health facility's license. It's believed to be the first action of its kind in Colorado history. Chief Investigator Tony Kowaleski has been uncovering allegations against Clearview Behavioral Health since January, and he's here now with more.
Is the state's decision justified?
100%.
He's a former Clearview patient, one of many calling out the mental health hospital for failing to help Colorado's mentally ill.
It was literally a nightmare. I felt like I was in a horror story or a horror film when I was there every single day. It was...
And we've come to discover Winston's opinion is far from unique. During the past 7 months, more than 6 patients, family members, former and current employees all shared similar stories.
I could tell you that patient care was definitely not a #1 priority.
You were there for 10 days. Was the priority of this facility to make you better?
No, absolutely not. We kind of figured out that they were keeping people for insurance.
Our reporting also uncovered questionable deaths at Clearview and questionable decisions by administrators following a death.
2 insiders have said to us that this man, this father, didn't deserve to die.
No, he did not.
If he were better cared for, would he be alive today?
Certainly more than likely.
Would it be accurate for me to report that Clearview attempted to cover up the details of this death?
Yes, they gave us inaccurate and misleading information in the initial investigation.
The state's decision today follows 3 unannounced visits since our first report aired back in January. The state deciding to move to revoke Clearview's license after discovering significant failures in Clearview's patient care. The report confirms the state has uncovered 85 deficiencies inside the facility during the past 11 months. The state also substantiated 17 of 19 complaints it investigated, many coming from people coming forward during our investigations. State also foreshadowed its potential decision during this interview 4 weeks ago.
2 immediate jeopardies, a termination track, 2 deaths now being investigated. What will it take for this place to get shut down?
Again, Tony, I would argue we are at that moment in time and that moment in truth where a decision will be made.
And that decision could be shutting them down.
Absolutely.
That was Tony Kowaleski. Another teen is hiding out tonight after escaping from Lookout Mountain Youth Services Center in Golden. Quinn Skaggs is the latest to break out of that facility, and he did it using the same tactics as his predecessors. The state tells us he removed the window from his room, then used bed sheets to get over the perimeter fence. Just last month, 2 sex offenders escaped in a similar fashion. There was also a riot that injured 10 staffers and 4 inmates. Well, today, the man in charge of managing these facilities said he understands the community's concerns.
We've been very clear that Lookout Mountain Youth Services Center has had its issues. We've taken some unprecedented steps to reduce the population here, to ensure that we have appropriate staffing.
Now, Skaggs was being held at Lookout Mountain on a weapons charge and was accused of going on an armed burglary spree in Colorado Springs. As for how he escaped overnight, there's no evidence he got away in a car, but investigators are looking into the possibility that he had some help. The body of a missing woman has been recovered from the South Fork of the Rio Grande River. It's the 6th death on Colorado waters this season. Roberta Rodriguez fell into the river on June 15th. Strong currents made the recovery effort difficult. But today, Mineral County deputies were able to find her remains and give her family some closure. A Boulder police officer is off the hook for how he handled a controversial confrontation. An independent review found that officer broke no rules when he tackled and handcuffed a man back in April. That man was filming an interaction between the officer and a group of homeless people who were allegedly smoking pot, littering, and disturbing others. Police say body camera footage shows the man filming repeatedly refused to put down his cane and that he would not step away when ordered to by officers. The review found arresting him was well within legal bounds. And in what appears to be an unrelated announcement, Boulder's chief of police will step down in September. Greg Testa is retiring after 36 years on the job. 32 of those were spent with Boulder PD. He's been chief since 2014. A new chief is expected to be named sometime next year. And tonight's entry into the Porch Pirate Hall of Shame should be easy to recognize. Her bright pink hair really pops as she takes a package from a home in Denver's Washington Park. If you see her, you don't want to say hello, just call police. And if you have video of thieves in need of shaming, email them to us at contact7@thedenverchannel.com. And from the First Alert Weather Center, here is a look at your forecast, and this really looks summer-like. We're heading into a string of 90s with a chance of showers on the weekends, but still nice and warm for the week. This has been your Denver 7 On Demand update. Thank you so much for joining us, and check back here later tonight for another update. And download the Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. I'm Ann Trujillo.